All right, Jagmeet Singh, hit us. Hit us with your advertisement.
Who's been fighting for you this pandemic? Not this guy.
Nope.
Trudeau wants you to think it was him, but really it was Jagmeet Singh. Jagmeet used the minority government to force Trudeau to get more people, more help, faster. Trudeau wanted to skimp on CERB. Jagmeet made him double it.
Base.
Trudeau wanted to end benefits. Jagmeet made him extend them. And Trudeau offered almost nothing for small business. Jagmeet delivered a 75% wage subsidy. Justin Trudeau talks. Jagmeet Singh delivers. Who's been...
I don't know. I'm a little biased, obviously. I'm a little biased. But I like this one. I agree. I this is something I've been arguing for forever, and the NDP has been making the case as well. That given the minority status of the government, Jagmeet had the ability to force the government to do some pretty good things. And that's good. So, yes, I have been a benefit, or someone who has benefited from the CERB plan that Singh fought for. And so I'm grateful for that. And I think it was good. One of the reasons why we have not suffered compared to other countries in terms of poverty during this pandemic is because of those programs that were implemented. So thank you to the NDP leveraging their minority status to give us those benefits. And it is telling that Trudeau wanted to get a majority and force this election. For why? Like, any benefit that you can say that we got during the pandemic was because he had to work with the NDP. Of course, he's going to say it had all to do with him, but it really didn't. Their government consistently, and even now, their government has cut the CRB. They've cut the benefits that have been happening. So I got nothing negative to say to that, but I'm largely biased because I support the NDP. So let's see. Maybe there'll be an ad here that I will be able to criticize, but. I also have to say, I just find Singh's presentation style. I mean, O'Toole fucking sucks. O'Toole is like, I am a robot, and I am going to use my hands very aggressively to make every point that I make. And Justin Trudeau has this, I'm a very tired drama teacher who has a pretty voice and a nice haircut, and I will just talk like this. And I feel like his is normal. Jagmeet has a normal presentation. He doesn't come across weird to me. But I don't know. I don't know if it's bias. Let me know if you have your own objections to his presentation style.
When the pandemic hit, Justin Trudeau wanted to do as little as possible to help you. New Democrats used our power in the minority government to push back. We made him double CERB, extend it. We saved millions of jobs. When you send New Democrats to Ottawa, we fight for you.
Okay, it was all right. The one thing I hate about this advertisement is what's with the shaky cam? Why, you couldn't afford a tripod here? Why? It's not like we're in the Cloverfield, There's not a monster attacking and we gotta run with our handy cam or some shit. And it basically just repeated everything that happened in the last advertisement. Didn't necessarily gain a new perspective there. All right, what else do we got here? All right, here we go. Oh yeah, it's not what you say, it's what you do. This might be, he's going to probably say a lot of the similar things in this one, but this one also, it's highly produced, so this might be the Pablo one too, where it's Canada is about people who shake hands and are best friends.
It's not just what you say that matters, it's what you do. For 6 years, we've heard Justin Trudeau say the right thing with no intention of doing it. I want to build a better future for every Canadian, not talk about it. Make life more affordable for your family. Tax the ultra-rich and use that money to help the rest of us. Better is possible with a Prime Minister who actually wants to do more for you.
Actually, this is dope. I want to like remove my bias and say something critical of this shit. But like, you know what? He said in an advertisement that he wants to tax the ultra rich. Like, I'm fucking down for that. Like, that's, you know, if I could find a criticism, it's like I want to abolish the ultra rich, you know, not just tax them, but like, you know, as a capitalist within a capitalist electoral system, yes, tax the ultra rich, Jugmeat. I agree. And I love that he did it. Like that shot is him outside of the Bank of Montreal. You can't see it on the stream, but that's the Bank of Montreal. So he's just like, fuck you, banks. You know what? All right, Jesus. I feel like I don't know. These ads, at least for the most part, are better than the NDP ones from previous years. I feel as well that given this is Jugmeat's second election, I feel like he's got a bit more game. He's on it a bit more this time, which is nice. All right, here we go.
Justin Trudeau does.
This is a non-Jugmeat Singh one, but it's NDP. Here we go.
Justin Trudeau doesn't want you to see this. He voted against taxing the ultra-rich to help the rest of us.
Je vote contre la motion.
He says the right thing at election time, but he has no intention of doing it.
Ready for better? We're ready too.
Okay, weird ending, but like, yeah, message
Justin
received. I have to say, the other thing that I like, so far the NDP ads have been like super short and super sweet. Like they just get in there and get out. Like 16 seconds long. I mean, I guess some of them are 31 seconds. They feel shorter to me. I don't know if that's just because like I enjoy them a lot more. They feel like they dip in and dip out. I guess there's a lot of these short NDP ones. What else do we got here? So that one was on taxing the rich. We got one here on seniors care.
Justin Trudeau doesn't want you to see this. He voted against getting for-profit companies out of healthcare.
Monsieur Trudeau compte against.
He says the right thing at election time, but he has no intention of doing it.
Ready for better? We're ready too.
Justin Trudeau doesn't want you to.
I wonder if you search under playlists if there will be ads for the smaller parties. Yeah, we will search. We're just going to skim. I'm going to watch this last 16-minute or 16-second one. Oh, we missed a conservative one that I might want to check out. Because they're talking about inflation. God, the conservatives are going to run on austerity, which is...
Justin Trudeau doesn't want you to see this. He voted against drug coverage for all Canadians.
He did.
Je vote contre.
He says the right thing at election time, but he...
Even though, like, again, he like, the Liberal Party supported the pharmacare, and the CLC lobbied them, and it looked like it was going to go through, and then they just sort of walked away from it. Again, fuck the Liberals. Fuck the Liberals. All right. Let's check out the NDP. You might want to check out Matt Green. I think Matt Green had an advertisement that was pretty good as well. Why does it start me so down here? Okay, it's all of those ads. They got some like testimonial ones. Okay.
I'm embarrassed to admit it.
I'm curious, actually. This is the guy who says he's embarrassed to admit he voted for the Liberals in 2015. So let's see what he has to say.
I'm embarrassed to admit it, but yes, I did vote for the Liberals in 2015.
How dare you?
They really made a lot of promises that I connected to, and I thought they were going to follow through with it. But what ended up happening with the Liberal government is quite the contrary, I feel. There's just a bunch of things that the Liberals do that I don't think really reflects Canadian values. For example, why is the Liberal government taking Indigenous people to court? You know, we're supposed to be the nice people. We're supposed to be the heroes in the international scene. This is how people see us. And behind the scenes, it just seems like we're doing the opposite. What I find inspiring about the NDP is that I
have to say, this could be worded a bit differently, but like I'm not gonna if this is some rando that they were like, come be in our film, or even just someone who recently joined the campaign and was like, yeah, I'm canvassing and whatnot, then sure. But like this whole like Canada's image abroad is one of like we're the peacekeepers and we're gonna save the day. I don't need that bullshit.
Find that they are brave. I think they actually go out and do what they're saying that they're gonna do. You know, I've ended up in marches with Alexandre Boulris, like I've ended up in marches with Mumalak. Like I love the fact that they're actually on the ground doing what they said they were gonna do. It's a very welcome change to have politicians actually follow through. The NDP is always there, and I love the fact that they're actually in touch with their constituents.
I'll say like that's the one reason I respect the NDP in a lot of ways. We had members of the NDP show up to our strike actions and stuff like this. Like we were not yet on strike, but we were like organizing for one, and we had NDP members show up and supported that. I've also seen the NDP at Indigenous rallies, pro-Palestinian rallies, BLM rallies, and so they're always there. Even like I remember back when we were doing the student movement stuff, and Terrence Kernahan, who's our local representative, MPP, showed up to a big one where all the local high schools decided to rally outside of City Hall, and there was a moment that was like really incredible where he stood up on like a trash can and like was basically said to got the students to all be quiet, and then like was like, we're with you, we're gonna fight like for you and all this stuff, and had all the kids like chanting NDP, which was incredible. So dope for that. I left a link for the Davenport NDP candidate in the Discord. Nice. See if Durka has a video too at some point. But yeah, the reason why I want to check out Matt Green, so for those of you who don't know, he tends to be, he's got a kind of savvy that is like AOC in America, in that like their ground game electorally is pretty good. I don't know why I can't find it here. Matthew Green, DP. Has he been kicked off Twitter? Oh, did I spell it wrong? How the hell did I spell that wrong? What? There it is. Jesus, that was weird. Right. Oh, it's a 3-minute long one, but we can let's see how this goes. Let's see if we feel inspired by the Matthew Green. I love you can tell that it's Hamilton, Ontario because of the smog and factories in the deep background. No offense to Hamilton. That actually looks like too the is that all below the mountain? That might all be below the mountain because is it? Or is the drop? No, that must be below the mountain because I don't see a drop off here. Interesting. For those of you who don't know, Hamilton has, it's like built on an escarpment. So there's they call it like the top, the Hamilton Mountain, and the down below. And the down below is usually, like I didn't think it was this full of suburbs. I mean, it's gotta be, but like, yeah, it looks like more suburbs than I remember. I feel like I'm watching like
Some
the
people
Field
say
of
I'm
Dreams.
confrontational. And after thinking about it, they're right. I am.
You know, there's something about that I like, but it's such a contrast of like, some people say I'm confrontational. I'm confrontational. I am. Just like, that is such a friendly response to sounding like, I'm gonna punch people in the face. I'm so confrontational. Right? That's me.
And I believe that you should be too. Because we are confronting some of the most urgent and heart-wrenching issues of our time here in Canada and around the world. In spite of all that we've recently learned about the atrocities of the so-called residential school system, this government continues to fight residential school survivors in court. This government can't even provide basic clean drinking water on reserves in spite of repeated campaign promises to do just that.
Canadians need action, and they need it right now. We've heard these words before. The question through you, Mr. Speaker, is will this government act now on reconciliation by stop dragging Indigenous kids to court?
And this summer, an entire town in BC burned to the ground in hours. And we all know that rising temperatures and extreme weather, catastrophic climate change, is the culprit. And yet, Justin Trudeau's Liberal government continues to make excuses, offering us empty words, when what we really need is drastic action.
We do not have time. The science is clear that we have an opportunity right now in this moment to change course. That if we don't intervene right now in these critical years, that the changes and impacts of catastrophic climate change will become irreversible.
And we are now finally just crawling out from a year and a half of an unprecedented global COVID pandemic. So many Canadians have lost their family members, lost their jobs, and lost their housing. But instead of bold action on social and affordable housing or real financial relief for people pushed to the brink of bankruptcy, Bay Street and the billionaire class got a $750 billion bailout, while working class Canadians get stuck holding the bag because Justin Trudeau refuses to tax the billionaire class.
The housing crisis that is happening in Hamilton exists across Canada, and it needs to end. If this Liberal government truly believes that housing is a human right, then actions must be taken to stop catering to foreign investors, speculators, and land hoarders, and finally end the gross profiteering off of one of our society's most basic necessities of life, housing.
We're at a
like
crossroads in this country.
Dude with a
we can
parrot.
either choose to cling to the past, to the ignorance, the cronyism, and the indifference to suffering that got us here, or we can confront these awful parts of our history in order to change, in order to grow, and in order to heal. So that's our work. We can build a Green New Deal economy that drastically reduces our carbon emissions. We can build affordable housing and ensure that people have a livable income and a roof over their heads. We can answer the calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Report and finally begin healing with our Indigenous neighbors. But yes,
like you can tell,
it's
he
going to
definitely
take
has like
confronting
a
old
media
ways
group
in order to get to that new, more caring and compassionate place. It's an honor to be your Member of Parliament for Hamilton Centre, and you can rest assured that I will never stop confronting the issues that continue to hold us back.
I do think he's one of our better MPs. I do like Matt Green. He's a nice dude. I mean, a bit long. It's almost a 4-minute video, but like, you know, I like the tonal shift. I like the way it was framed. It was nice. It was nice. So yeah, I hope he gets reelected. He probably will. Hamilton tends to vote NDP. It's not they're an NDP stronghold, so he's probably safe there. But yeah, that was a good one. Let's check out. I guess Nam, you said you have your Davenport candidate, right? And then let's see. I'm curious if Durka. I don't think Durka has a video yet. I know Shauna does, so maybe we'll play Shauna's.
These are tough times for a lot of people. And after 6 years with a Liberal MP in Davenport, it's harder to afford a home. People are even more anxious about jobs and the rise in precarity. There's been no meaningful action on the climate crisis. Community assets are up for sale. And the super rich just keep getting richer. Davenport's Liberal MP is more interested in helping those at the top, not the members of her own community. We can't wait on false Liberal promises anymore. Davenport deserves better. I'm Alejandra Bravo. I moved to Davenport in 2000 and got to work building up our community, empowering others, bringing people together, meeting people where they're at, placing equity and justice at the center of it all. I love this community. I raised my family here, I volunteer here, and I know that Davenport deserves so much more than the status quo. I know that together we can.
Now, I love everything she's saying, but she needs, Matthew Green needs to share his media people with the rest of the NDP, I feel, just to produce this video just a little better. Like, the music makes me feel like I'm listening to, like, a YouTube advertisement rather than, like, I don't know, Matthew Green's, like, production value, the music, like, it captivated you, you know? And, like, the audio mixing of her voice on this, it's just, like, you know, I guess there's like a home video aesthetic to it, but it's like, yeah, that element could be better. But I love everything else that surrounds it. That just needs to be a lot better.
Can make meaningful change.
Subtle critiques.
We will take action on the climate crisis and create good jobs. We'll take responsibility for Canada's colonial policies and meet our obligations to Indigenous peoples. Ensure affordable and accessible housing solutions for all. Rein in corporate profiteering and tax the rich. Take private profit out of public services. Advance the fight against racism and police brutality.
Oh yeah.
And finally, expand healthcare to ensure drug and dental coverage for all. I'm ready to be your voice in Ottawa as your next Member of Parliament and to push for progressive solutions for workers and families, not the big corporations. Join me and let's build our winning movement right here in Davenport.
That was good. I'm laughing because I just read your comment now. Jody was finally able to critique an NDP ad. No, it's a good ad. I'm sure other locals in other parties would also produce videos like this. It's just like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, on the basis of, like, being captivating, like, I wish people like Matt Green would share. I mean, he probably has his team or whatever, but, like, share the resources to produce videos like that would be really good. But yeah, is Davenport, is that Kensington Market? One of the things that she drove by on her bike looked like Kensington Market to me, but I could be. Yeah, the music was really the thing that, like, got me too. It was just too. It was like every time, because you know what it was? They tapped in clearly to music that is, what the hell is it called? Like the for free shit, like the stuff that, like, anyone can just use. Yes. And so because of that, it had that vibe of, like, I've heard this song before. I know I've heard this song before, advertising, like, toilet paper or something, you know? And so, yeah, it just had that vibe to it. If you look at the writings in Toronto, it's the one that looks like a dagger. Cool, let's check that. One that looks like a dagger. This? Is this it? Which one looks like a dagger? That's a very... Now that I'm looking at the writings, this is not a helpful description. Oh my god. I guess some of them are labeled here. Davenport? Okay, Davenport is there. I guess Kensington would be closer to here. Okay. I can sort of make it out. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, let's see. I'm going to see if Durka has anything. I don't think she does, though. Although she's using my picture. I had some signs stored up in my garage. So as soon as the writ was dropped, I walked right outside and played with them in my yard. So there you go. I was officially... Oh, hey, Caitlin was canvassing today. So for those of you who don't know, this is Caitlin here. She used to be the co-host of the show. That's Durka here. And Andrew. I'm pretty sure this is Omar. I've never met them, but they've called me several times. But awesome. I do like this picture of Durka. That's... Anyways, I hope they produce a video. That'll be fun. But we do have Shauna. Awesome. Yeah, that's hilarious. I saw she had a video, but I have not watched it. See who's all these people pumping in sides. Do not recognize any. That's more... There we go. So this is Shauna Lukowitz. She's awesome as well. She is in Vienna's riding. Is London West, I think is what it is. So let's see what she has to offer here.
I am a fighter, and I am fighting for you, your family.
Feels like
I am a fighter,
nope.
And I am fighting for you, your family, and all of our communities. The last year has shown that when you send New Democrats to Ottawa, we
I
get
was at
results.
that event. I'm curious if you could...
That when you...
No, you can't see me. The funny thing is, so when this event happened, I want to pause it here because when this event happened, I think I'm sitting up like around here. If the camera were to swing a little to the right, you would see me. But unless this was at the end of the event, because in the middle of this event, when they were filming it, I ended up leaving to go yell at Maxime Bernier. Because I found out that Maxime Bernier was also speaking in town that night and went and then heckled him. And then got police escorted out of the Best Western. But I was at this event.
Send New Democrats to Ottawa, we get results. Our surest path forward out of this pandemic is together. I hope you will join Jagmeet and I in our fight for people and a just recovery. Join our team, request a lawn sign, donate, and share this video as a way to spread the word about what we can do together.
Yeah, I would put this video in between Matt Green and the last one. Julie, what's her name? Can't remember your candidate's name. Alejandro. Arhandra. I did like the parts that I liked the best was when Shauna was communicating with the camera and like the music was a little better, but there were some parts of this that just like felt like abrupt. This is one thing, okay? I'll just highlight this. This is a very soft criticism of, not Shauna, but like you see the dancing thing that's happening here. So when, during the last election, 2019, I live close to the boundaries of our ridings. And so I'm driving down the road. I'm into London West. And I see Kate Young, who is the outgoing Liberal MP, and she's not running for re-election. But she was out by this park, like dancing with all their supporters like they're doing, right? And I'm like, oh, that was cringy. And I drive by, and on my way back from where I was going, Shauna's supporters were out there with their signs, like dancing, and I was just like, why are they like dancing at traffic with their signs? Like that just seems so weird to me. Like maybe that like was a way of captivating people. I don't know if that if I was in charge of a campaign, I don't know if that would be my suggestion. Go out there in a field where traffic is driving by and dance for the cars. It's not my thing, but I guess if it's what they like, then do it. I guess. No shade. It's not my thing.
Hello, my rebels. I'm a good boy. I'm a weirdo.